It was an accident. They told us to move on. But today, everything changes. Because what you're about to hear is not just another rumor, not another whisper lost in the noise of social media. This is the untold story of Yu Menglong's final moments, the one that powerful people have tried to bury under silence and fear. Stay with us till the end and don't forget to subscribe, because what's coming next will change how you see everything you thought you knew about him. The night before Yu Menglong's passing was supposed to be like any other. Quiet, reflective, filled with his usual late-night studio hours. Yet something felt different. Those closest to him said he seemed distracted, pacing back and forth, staring out the window as if expecting someone. His phone buzzed constantly, but he never answered. And then, around midnight, he left his apartment without saying a word. Security footage shows him walking toward the Qihao Museum district, a place that held deep meaning for him. It was where he filmed one of his earliest projects, a spot that symbolized his rise from anonymity to fame. But the strange part isn't that he went there, it's who followed him. A dark car appeared moments after he left his building, trailing him closely through narrow Beijing streets until both disappeared from view. Hours later, the world woke up to shocking news. Yu Menglong was gone. The official statement mentioned a tragic accident, yet witnesses spoke of loud voices, a struggle, and shadows moving in the dark corners near the museum tunnel. And then came the whispers, the theories, the questions no one dared to ask in public. Weeks passed before the first clue emerged. A forgotten camera hidden inside the tunnel revealed a blurred figure approaching Yu Menglong just minutes before his fall. The footage was unclear, but experts confirmed one disturbing detail: the figure wasn't alone. A second person, partially obscured by the darkness, stood watching from a distance. Fans couldn't accept the vague explanations any longer. Hashtags flooded the internet demanding justice for Yu Menglong. That was when Xing Fei, his close friend and rumored confidant, broke her silence. Her trembling voice filled the screen as she said, "He told me someone was watching him. He said he felt trapped, like his every move was being controlled." Her words sent shockwaves across the industry. From that moment, everything escalated. Old messages surfaced between Yu Menglong and a mysterious contact labeled only as she-brother. The content of those exchanges remains mostly hidden, but insiders claim they reveal a pattern of manipulation that reached deep into the entertainment hierarchy. Contracts rewritten overnight. Roles withdrawn without explanation. Friends turning distant for reasons no one could explain. Behind the glamour of red carpets and flashing cameras, a darker truth began to take shape, a web of influence that stretched far beyond one actor's tragic fate. She-brother wasn't just a name whispered in fear. He was a force that could shape careers, silence dissent, and erase reputations overnight. Many stars knew it, but few dared to speak. Oud and Boat were among the first international voices to break the wall of silence. In a heartfelt video, they spoke of Yu Menglong's kindness, his quiet strength, and the injustice surrounding his end. Their words reignited global attention, sparking a massive movement across Asia, Europe, and beyond. Fans, journalists, and even insiders began connecting the dots that had long been ignored. One of those dots led to Qihao Museum itself. Workers confessed that certain areas of the tunnel were sealed off just days after the incident. Rumor has it that hidden documents were found there, contracts, letters, and private communications that pointed directly to the shadowy network Yu Menglong had begun to uncover before his death. But perhaps the most chilling revelation came from a producer who worked closely with him. He revealed that Yu Menglong had been planning a tell-all interview. In his final week, he reportedly told a friend, "If anything happens to me, tell them to look inside the tunnel." Those words have since haunted millions. Now, the silence is cracking. More actors have stepped forward, refusing to let this case fade. They're demanding that authorities reopen the investigation, insisting that the truth was never fully revealed. And the public is listening. For the first time, voices that were once silenced are being heard. But the biggest question remains: what did Yu Menglong discover that made him a target? What truth was he preparing to expose? The deeper this story goes, the more it feels like a puzzle with pieces scattered across power, fame, and fear. Yet one thing is clear, his death was not the end. It was the beginning of a movement that refuses to die down. As investigations continue, whispers grow louder that new evidence has been found, something that could finally shatter the wall of secrecy around Qihao Museum and the powerful figures connected to it. Whether the truth will ever be revealed remains uncertain, but one thing is undeniable: Yu Menglong's voice still echoes through those who refuse to be silenced. And to every viewer watching this, don't scroll past this story. Subscribe, share, and stay alert, because part 2 will reveal the names, the motives, and the final piece of this haunting puzzle. This is not just a story about one man's demise. It's a story about an entire system built on control, and the people brave enough to challenge it. They thought it was over. They thought silence would bury the truth forever. But as more evidence surfaced, it became impossible to ignore. A hidden recording, discovered weeks after the first revelations, changed everything. It wasn't just about Yu Menglong's mysterious demise anymore. It was about power, loyalty, and a system that had gone too far. The night before everything ended, Yu Menglong had sent a message to someone close, a message that no one had ever seen until now. His voice was calm but heavy, each word filled with quiet pain. "If anything happens to me, don't believe what they tell you. The truth is deeper than they'll ever admit." That single recording reignited an investigation that had been deliberately shut down. And it led straight to the walls of Qihao Museum, where many believed the story had ended. But it hadn't. As officials re-entered the museum's tunnel system, new evidence came to light: personal items, camera logs, and a small notebook with sketches that seemed to hint at hidden chambers no one had documented before. The deeper they went, the stronger the sense of unease grew. There were signs that Yu Menglong hadn't been alone that night. Someone else had been there. Someone who had vanished without a trace. Then, unexpectedly, Xingfei returned to the spotlight. After weeks of silence, she appeared in a live interview. Her hands trembled slightly as she spoke, but her eyes were fierce. "They made him choose," she said softly, "and when he refused, they took everything." The host tried to change the subject, but Xingfei didn't stop. "He was scared," she continued, "not for himself, but for the people he loved. That's why he kept quiet." The clip went viral within minutes, shared millions of times across China and beyond. Suddenly, the name Xi brother resurfaced in every trending topic. Whispers about his influence over Beijing's entertainment industry grew louder. Top stars who had once stayed silent began to speak. Oat and Boat released a statement calling for justice, followed by several major cdrama actors who hinted that what happened to Yu Menglong had also happened to others. The entire entertainment industry trembled. For the first time, major networks were forced to address it. They released official statements denying all involvement, claiming that the investigation was handled. But the public wasn't convinced. Too many pieces didn't fit, too many witnesses had vanished, and too many truths were left unanswered. Meanwhile, a mysterious file was leaked anonymously online, a compilation of messages, backstage recordings, and private photos showing that Yu Menglong had been documenting the strange behavior of several key figures months before his death. He had known something was coming. He had tried to warn people. At the bottom of the final page, a message appeared in his handwriting. "If you're reading this, it means the truth has survived me. Tell them I never wanted fame. I only wanted honesty." That single line broke millions of hearts across the world. Fans flooded social media with tributes, videos, and open letters. Candlelight vigils were held in several cities, and the hashtag Justice for Yu Menglong trended globally for days. Then came the twist no one expected. An investigative journalist revealed that Xi brother's empire was starting to crumble. Several of his top associates had been arrested quietly. And while no one confirmed what evidence had been found, insiders claimed that one of the recovered files bore Yu Menglong's initials. The truth he had tried so hard to protect had finally surfaced. Weeks later, during a quiet memorial event, Xingfei appeared again, this time without cameras, without interviews. She placed a single letter on the memorial stand and whispered something no one else heard. Some fans claimed they saw her mouth form the words, "You were right all along." The world would never be the same. The industry had been shaken, secrets had been exposed, and the walls that once protected the powerful had begun to fall. Yu Menglong's story was no longer just a tragedy. It had become a movement, a call for truth, transparency, and justice. His silence had spoken louder than any voice ever could. And now, his message continues through those who refuse to let his name fade. The unseen hand that once silenced him is now the same hand writing a new chapter of truth. If you've made it this far, you already know that this isn't just a story, it's a revelation. Don't let Yu Menglong's truth fade into silence. Tap subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and join the growing global voice demanding answers. Part 3 will uncover what happened to those who tried to expose the truth, and how far the industry is willing to go to bury it again.